Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, back to Sports Time HQ. I'm your host, Fernando. Joining with me today is Keith. Keith, what are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm good, Fernando. Looking forward to the show. Couple of mock drafts, maybe early for one, but sure, it's never too early to start.
Never too early to start. Of course, we don't have Gary on this week. We gotta figure out like some type of noise effect. You know how like fantasy footballers do.
Yeah. When someone's missing, but you're back to the old dream team. Sorry, Gary.
Yeah, sorry, Gary. But yeah, Dream Team's back. Fernando and Keith back again, doing once again mock drafts. You know, gotta love mock drafts. Today we're gonna try and get through a rookie mock draft for all you Dynasty folks and a way too early redraft mock. It's gonna be Keith and I's first redraft mock of the year. For the Dynasty, I think it's your first, but I think I've done quite a few real ones and mock ones.
So it should be interesting. You should be well versed here. So I'll probably be jumping the gun on a lot of these guys.
Yeah. Kind of getting some news and notes around the league real quick. I don't know if you saw it, but Ben Skronik, he has been traded to the Houston Texans. The Texans send a 6th-round 2026 pick for Skronik and a 2026 7th rounder. For anyone who thought Skronik would be valuable in the Los Angeles Rams offense, well, he is no longer fantasy relevant, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Unless you have other reasons, Keith.
No, I thought he was going to be released today. That was all the talk. And then obviously the Texans came in. So obviously someone likes him there, but that's a hell of a wide receiver room now. I mean, I don't think Skronik's that brilliant. I thought he had some nice plays and for the Rams at times, but I mean, joining Diggs, Collins, Tank Dell, and now Skronik. I mean, you're going to need the depth, all right, but he's not fantasy relevant at all now.
Yeah, that Houston wide receiver room, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Robert Woods, John Mechie, Noah Brown, and now Ben Skronik.
Yeah,
that's a talented receiver class.
Definitely talent. He could definitely be the wide receiver 4, though. He could definitely get ahead of Mechie and Brown. Well, Brown was pretty good down the stretch last year for the Texans. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Well, hear me out. I want to ask you this question. So, Nico Collins, technically wide receiver 2 on that depth chart. Tank Dell obviously had that injury last year that ended his season early. I thought Tank Dell had a better connection with CJ Stroud than Collins or anyone else on that team. Do you think Tank Dell deserves to be the wide receiver 2 in that room? And my follow-up is there too many mouths to feed to have any of those fantasy relevant?
First one, yeah, I can see how you would think, Dell slots into that wide receiver 2 role. But I think the natural fit is that he is the wide receiver 3 because obviously Diggs goes into the wide receiver 1, takes that off Collins, so Collins naturally goes into the wide receiver 2. But I can see for fantasy purposes that I think Tank Dell will go higher than Collins. Like I think I said this before when we were talking about the trade with Diggs. I'm probably going to find myself with a lot of Collins come actual fantasy drafting because I think he's going to fall. I think people are going to be so high on Tank Dell that I'll be just like out on him. Even though I like him, I really want him. I just think the price will be too high come, August real draft season. I don't think there'll be too many mouths to feed in terms of the 3 guys, Diggs, Collins, and Tank Dell. Just when we see CJ Stroud last year, I mean, the guy can ball out. I think he can get it to anybody. Like last year, you can throw in Schultz as well, and I think he stayed there as well. Yep. I mean, you throw him in as well. They all got a piece of the pie most weeks. So, I mean, with Tank Dell, I don't think you don't really know. I don't think what his floor is, but his ceiling is through the roof because he gets on all them long balls. So that's kind of where maybe he'll fall down, and you'll see, maybe more solid numbers from Collins, but he won't go off as much as Tank Dell will. So I think it's fine. I think if you get any piece of that, I think you'll be happy with. Just depends what you're going to pay for them in drafts.
Well, I'll tell you right now, based on Fantasy Pros' ADPs, Nico Collins is going as the wide receiver 15, overall 31. So he's being drafted late second, early third.
I'm expecting that to change dramatically. Sorry.
Especially how training camp's going to go, depending on what happens with Tank Dell and Nico Collins. and all the reports.
Yeah.
Dell, wide receiver 28.
Yeah. So right now, like that's who you like that.
Dude.
That's value. Like when you compare the two.
Oh, so much value. So much. I'd take Tank Dell over Nico Collins any day.
Yeah.
I think Tank Dell has a better chance to have fantasy impact than Nico Collins. And I mean, Diggs is going to be the wide receiver 1. He's going to have the top dogs on the corners on him, which means Tank Dell is the wide receiver 2, and he should be able to ball out.
Yeah, I think as the months go by, you'll see Collins fall from 15. You'll see Tank Dell going up from 28. They're going to meet somewhere in the middle, and then it's all going to factor in. Then come closer to August, who's going to go ahead of who, and who people like better.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of balances all out right around August.
Yeah,
like exactly. Obviously, that's why everyone wants to do it like just before the preseason like ends or just after the preseason ends, because of the fact that it's just going to offset everything. Everything will be nice and balanced.
Exactly.
But going into our next story, the Falcons. I just want to mention how the Falcons are paying their 3 quarterbacks a total of $79.23 million in 2024. Kirk Cousins, $62.5 million this year. Michael Penix, $14.25 million, and Taylor Heineke, $2.53 million.
I mean, it's just nuts. And like all them, well, obviously take out Penix, but technically he was a starting quarterback at one stage because he was. But like Heineke's been the starter in the league. Kirk Cousins is there thinking, the Vikings were going to take a quarterback high, and which they did, and he didn't want to be around for that. Then he gets screwed over by the Falcons, who do the exact same thing that he didn't want to happen to him in Minnesota. So, I mean, a lot of their cap is in that quarterback room, and I think you're going to have a very disgruntled Kirk Cousins. I mean, I'm sure you won't see it out in the pitch come September, because he's a professional. I don't think he's that type of guy, but he's definitely not happy.
I'll ask you this. Do you think, if you're Kirk Cousins, would you have rather had competition with Michael Penix or JJ McCarthy?
Probably Michael Penix, because I'd imagine when JJ McCarthy, if he stayed in Minnesota and JJ McCarthy lands there's a good chance JJ McCarthy starts week 1, where we know it's Kirk Cousins starting week 1.
Well, at least that was the good and only answer right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For that question, moving on to some other notes. Giants have added a new wide receiver to their room. Allen Robinson.
Oh, what a Giants move if you've ever seen one. The next Kenny Golladay, or whatever you want to call it, or the older Kenny Golladay.
Let's see. I don't know if they announced how much he's earning. Probably a vet minimum, I would think, right?
$50 or something.
$50 and a hot dog from the stadium. I mean, no fantasy impact for Allen Robinson. I mean, if you somehow still have him on your dynasty rosters, either try and trade him for like a 4th or a 5th, or just cut him, because why is he wasting a spot on your lineup?
I mean, he's got to be one
to think that he was good when he was in Jacksonville for a little bit. That's what I was going to say.
It's not like he's not like he's been terrible. He has actually shown that he is a decent wide receiver, but he's just gone to another place with a very bad quarterback. And I mean, all Daniel Jones needs to do is just try and get on the same wavelength with Neighbors. That should be his number 1 mission this offseason. Forget about the rest. So it's going to be one of them things, like when somebody in a deep league is struggling, you're going to see Allen Robinson come off the waivers, halfway through the fantasy season.
Why? He'll have one good week.
Yeah, I mean, but there will be desperate people out there at times. We all know how fantasy goes.
Yeah, that's true. Just to give you kind of a little synopsis of his career, 10 seasons. He has had only 1 Pro Bowl season back in 2015, which was his second year in Jacksonville. And he has not had over 1,000 receiving yards since 2020 with the Bears, when he had 1,250 yards.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, he's joining a, I don't know if you want to say a crowded and competitive room, because I don't think it's a competitive room, but it's definitely a crowded room.
Their wide receivers are always crowded, and they're never that good.
Yeah. I mean, at this rate, you might as well re-sign Kenny Golladay at this rate.
Yeah, he's just floating out there.
A lot of young receivers, though, in that room. Malik Neighbors just getting drafted. Jalen Hyatt. I forgot he was even a thing. Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, and then now Allen Robinson. I mean, what's next? Dez Bryant?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a few that have shown flashes. I think I think Hyatt's going to be all right, but the rest are all kind of very mid and par.
Really?
They're all the same.
You think Hyatt's going to be all right?
Hyatt could end up, out of all them, he could end up all right. I mean, we've seen flashes from Slayton, but the guy gets injured most weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if someone was going to do it other than Neighbors, I'd say maybe Hyatt.
Okay. I think Wan'Dale Robinson has the best chance besides Neighbors.
If
he stays healthy.
I feel like he's going to be another Slayton dude. He'll show flashes and then get hurt. That's the way it kind of is being.
I could see that. I could see that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that team. It's also who is the starting quarterback? Is it Daniel Jones? Is it Drew Lock?
That's going to end up Daniel Jones, but I'd say
sorry, Daniel Jones or something along those lines. Like from what Neighbors said, you don't even know your quarterback's name.
It's going to be, I'd say it could end up Drew Lock for the first couple of weeks because all the talk is Daniel Jones not going to be ready, but it's going to end up Daniel Jones for the majority of the season, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is the final year of Daniel Jones ever. If you have him in Dynasty, get rid of him.
He'll end up as a backup after this at best.
I mean, honestly, offer Daniel Jones and a pack of peanuts for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
At this rate.
I'd like to
yeah, right. Last news. Lions general manager Brett Holmes wants to extend Jared Goff, and it's a high priority. I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on this? Like, Jared Goff has done well this past season, but there was a lot of rumors on if he was going to be their future quarterback. Obviously, they took him to the NFC Championship, which was great. But if he doesn't go back there, say they don't strike a deal until after this season. If he doesn't go back there to the NFC Championship or even the Super Bowl, is there thoughts that they move on from him?
Yeah, I mean, if they're giving him a new deal, they're all in, and they're saying the team we got now is good enough to go win a Super Bowl. If it all kind of gets thrown back in their face that they don't even make the playoffs again, then they're going to need to start rethinking quick. I mean, because you can't bring in some rookie and expect him then to win in the first season. Like it's not going to happen. So I think by showing, that they want to, or saying that they want to, extend them, is obviously they have plans to make the playoffs the next 2, 3, 4 years, maybe. And Goff is in their plans to take them there and take them to, possibly a Super Bowl. So, but if it blows up this year and even maybe next year, that I would say, even if they only get where they got this year, I mean, you got to start questioning after 2 years, what do we do then? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'd say he's taken them as far as he probably can.
He'd be an unrestricted free agent at the age of 31 if he doesn't strike a deal after this season. Currently cap hit of $32.3 million. But you really look at the potential free agent quarterback market in next year's class, or not next year's class, but next year free agent class for the quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, and then Dak Prescott. So I mean, there's some talent there.
There's some options there.
I would think they would, if they don't get Jared Goff. I think they should go all in on Jordan Love.
Jordan Love would be interesting. Tua is interesting. I mean, I think Jordan Love is going to get a multi-big deal. I don't know, especially after that. But
especially if he does what he did last season.
Yeah, Tua would be interesting because he has the injuries.
I don't like Tua.
Scare, but I think he showed he can ball out. I think that I don't see Dak leaving the Cowboys, but he'd be another interesting one if they can't get some deal done.
He could go do what Zeke did, 1-year contract somewhere, comes back for. I mean, that's another option, but I don't see why he would leave unless Jerry Jones said bye.
That's it. Unless Jerry Jones kicking him out, I say he's staying there because Jerry doesn't mind paying him whatever he wants, but it looks things.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't care. He'll throw the money. He's got money. He'll throw it out.
Exactly.
So, let's get into what everybody wants to get into. It's mock draft Thursday, not mock draft Monday. We used to do mock draft Monday though.
We did.
Throwback.
We'll get back to that.
Throwback Thursday. How about that? Throwback Thursday here when we're back here with mocks. We're going to be doing the rookie draft first. We randomized this pre-show. Yeah, that's correct. Pre-show. And unfortunately, I have the 101. Keith has the 103. And let's just get into it. Let's just get right into it. I am on the clock. Now, I've done a lot of these. And I've seen Caleb Williams. 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 I've go 101 in, I think, 99% of the leagues that have drafted.
Yeah.
In it. I don't understand the hype on Caleb Williams. I mean, I do, but I just don't think he deserves to be there because I don't think there's really a good quarterback class in this year's draft, unless it's J.J. McCarthy. I see here. But I think you get the best wide receiver in this year's class. You get the best wide receiver in this generation almost. Just comparing to Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, he's going to be that guy in Arizona, and it's Marvin Harrison. He's my number one.
Yeah, I mean, that was a no-brainer for me. That's where I'd be going on these drafts. This is where at the 103 I'm not that happy because Jaden Daniels is probably the obvious pick. And obviously, if you're a quarterback needy team, then you've got Malik Neighbors. But I don't like Malik Neighbors' landing spot for fantasy.
I loved him, but not the landing spot.
Exactly. And then you got Rome Odunze. I mean, I like that landing spot. I'm not going near Drake May, JJ McCartney. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up with Jaden Daniels here just because of what's in front of me. I don't think you're going to see many Rome Odunze going at the 103. I think that's too soon. And I think it's fine for Jaden Daniels here. And Washington's it's not great, but it's not the worst. So I'll go. That's where I'll go. I'll go Daniels here at the 103.
Okay. Going through JJ McCarthy going 7 is just so sad because I really like him. I like him so much. Wish he felt at 2.1. Drake May, this is actually the first draft I've seen Drake May go prior, I will say, than JJ McCarthy. Right. I don't see Drake May going before JJ McCarthy a lot. That's also because I draft JJ McCarthy before Drake May whenever I have the chance.
Yeah.
So that could also be the reason why I've never seen him go before JJ McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the clock here. I could take Bo Nix if I need a quarterback here. Bo Nix has the best chance over Michael Penix to start. Keon Coleman's an interesting one. Ladd McConkey, another interesting one. McConkey is great because of the fact that there's really no other wide receiver there. I mean, if you really think about it, same thing with Keon Coleman. There's a lot of concerns with Keon Coleman, whether or not he can be able to be on that Z spot in the wide receiver class and be able to get one-on-one coverage and be able to thrive through that. Keith, have you seen, by the way, like him not being Tiger Woods and everything? Like what he does?
He's like a genius on social media. I mean, like the Bills could just make so much money off him just going, here's a phone, go live, and just like,
oh my God, he's so funny.
Yeah, he's so good.
I'm Tiger, wish I could.
Yeah. That was great. That was his interview or whatever. It was. That was so good.
It was so funny. I think here I'm going with I think I'm going to go with another receiver. I'm going with Keon Coleman.
Snipe.
Yeah. I don't know if you wanted Coleman or McConkey.
I wanted either, and I would hope one would fall. Oh, that's
here's the thing. I don't think Jonathan Brooks. I mean, he could be the next CMC in Carolina. I just don't know if I'm all in on Brooks. I'm a big Benson believer than Brooks, and I think Benson could beat out James Conner. Especially, we know Conner's history of injuries, and I mean, Miles Sanders is in Carolina. Brooks will probably go to number 1 in that depth chart, but I don't know if he's going to thrive there.
I'm a big Brooks guy, and right now, looking at this board,
you're going to take him.
Because I don't need Bo Nix, I don't need Penix. I hate the Ricky Purcell pick right now because you still got the 2 guys there in San Fran, Debo and Ayuk. So I mean, he's not getting a look in my opinion. Benson, I know he's your guy. I just like Brooks over him, to be honest. There's not much in it. And then I'm falling down the board here. There's guys I like, but later. So I think my hand's kind of been forced the way I feel here. I'm going Jonathan Brooks. He's probably early to pick him, but just the way it kind of fell.
Interesting. All the quarterbacks off the board now. Trey Benson. See, I'm actually team number 7. Let's be real here.
Yeah, they got your guys, McCarthy and Benson.
They know who I want. They know exactly who I want. See, I'm on the clock here, and I don't want to be that person to take 5 receivers in this draft, but I'm going to be honest.
You're going to, though. You're going to.
Here's the issue. If anyone has drafted Dynasty rookie drafts yet this season, it's either Brooks or Benson, and kind of everyone else is kind of dart throw quarterbacks. Yeah. It's either Bowers or maybe Sanders very, very late, again, as a dart throw. Quarterbacks, it's a first-round quarterbacks. After that, it's another dart throw and just hope they fall.
Mm-hmm.
The wide receivers, it's such a deep, deep class that you can get so much value in the 3rd round with a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a running back here only because of the fact that I don't want to take 5 goddamn receivers. If I had to take a receiver here and make my pick, it's Troy Franklin, because I think Bo Nix starts. I think Franklin will thrive in Denver. I think that could be bad. In Washington, it's going to transfer over to Denver, and they'll both be good. I'm debating between Jalen Wright and Marshawn Lord.
Got it all going on there.
See, I could take Jalen Wright, and the reason why I think I am going to take him is because either my team must have good running backs that I can have Wright sit, because we know the injuries between Devon Achane, and we know the injuries between Mostert. Mostert's only on a 1-year deal. Achane was a rookie last year. I think if one of them goes down, Jalen Wright's the next guy. And they were the 1-2 punch, like the Alvin Kamara and who was it? Latavius Murray or something? Mm-hmm. Something along those lines back in the day. I'm going to go with Jalen Wright.
Nice. Okay. So finally a pick fell for me.
There you go. You take Troy Franklin.
No, I'm going with Roman Wilson. I've been
Really? You're a Roman Wilson fan.
Yeah, I've been sneaky kind of. I knew about him. I had looked into him. Didn't watch a lot of him. Then everybody started getting hot on him, and I was like, I thought this guy was pretty good, but then kind of did more digging and kind of going, I think this is a sneaky pick. And then if you look at the way the Steelers and who they've drafted at the wide receiver position going back, I don't know, a few years, they very rarely miss. So I think this guy is a good pick, and I'm happy. I was happy to take Troy Franklin if it came that way, but Roman Wilson's there for me, so I'm happy to take him.
Ugh, no, I don't like Wilson. I think it's just a crowded room, in my opinion. Troy Franklin going to Team 4, though. Good pick from Team 4. They know what they're doing. My Team 7 takes another running back. Hey, they're stacking up on the depleted running back class here.
You don't want that. You don't want Team 7 anymore.
I still take Team 7. Maybe I'll make some trades here, try and get Coleman from my team. But
yeah,
we'll see. Maybe I'll trade Jalen Wright for Trey Benson or something. Maybe add a little pick there.
Yeah.
I'm on the clock. I could take Jatavian Sanders from Carolina if I want to go for a tight end, but I'm going to be honest, it's either Brock Bowers or nothing for me. Vidal is a good shout for the Chargers because of the fact that they have 2 injury-prone guys from Baltimore, Gus the Bus and J.K. Dobbins. I'm going to go with a dark horse here. And I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to hope that he falls, that the other guy falls to me.
Okay.
I'm going to take Brendan Rice.
Okay.
Jerry Rice's son. And the reason why I'm going to take him is I've been taking him in the 4th round, and I've been reaching a little bit. This might have been my biggest reach. And the reason why I took him is I think that wide receiver room has all the possibility of Brendan Rice being at least wide receiver 3, maybe even jumping QJ and Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. I think it's like
he's one phone call away from calling one of the best wide receivers of all time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a coin toss with a lot of the receivers there. I mean, these rookies have a big chance to get over Quentin Johnson, Palmer, these guys. You know what I mean? I think they have a really good shot of getting in there. So, yeah, I think when you get past the first 2 rounds in a rookie draft, especially if you're going more than 10 teams, even at 12, 14, I mean, I think you're fine to throw a dart at anyone you think is good.
I mean, what's his name? Puka Nacua.
That's
we got to have another Nacua segment. Come on now.
That's it.
Nacua went in the 4th round last year in rookie drafts.
There you go. So, I mean, I would say, like, to people that are doing this outside the first 2 rounds, like, don't be afraid when he goes. I don't know how most rookie drafts are 4 or 5 rounds, but like once it goes into the third round, don't be afraid to start taking guys if you have to go down the board that you just like, because they're all dart throws at that stage.
Yeah, I mean, if your team is stacked too, you don't need this wide receiver class. I mean, you don't need this draft class. Next year's draft class will be better.
Yeah. I mean, if you're stacked, you're probably not getting the first round anyways, or high up in it, so you're not getting Marvin Harrison or, you know.
I tried so hard getting Marvin Harrison. I knew he was going 1.2 in one of my big leagues, and I was at 104. I gave up. I was trying to give up the 104 and 3 other first round picks. Jeez. And Garrett Wilson.
I would have taken that. That's like,
he refused. He wanted Justin Jefferson for me.
You're never gonna get that. I mean, like, I always say, it's just a personal thing. I'll never give up more than 2 firsts. I'm not saying I won't throw in players and stuff. I will, but I'm never giving up more, because I think you're just hemorrhaging your future. Because if he gets injured or hurt and something, you're down the drain. So, like, someone's offering me 3 plus, who was it? Wilson?
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I'm taking that. I was like, go have it. I'll take the 3, and then we'll see what happens.
You one receiver, and then you're getting a wide receiver 1, maybe wide receiver 2, and Garrett Wilson, and you're getting future.
That's it. I mean, unless you're really in that you're going to win this year, but like, I don't think Marvin Harrison's going to really help you.
Not to mention, you also got the 104 too on that.
That's it, exactly. You're moving. You're still in the first round and high up in the first round too. So that could still engine like neighbors if that's who you want. If you're happy with taking the next best, I know the landing spot sucks, but I mean, if you want the next best wide receiver in this class, that's who you get. So yeah, I don't know. I would have taken that now.
Well, I tell you why, he didn't take it, and I tried. He refused. He refused to talk at all. He said, "I don't want to waste your time, but unless you're talking about Justin Jefferson, I'm keeping Marvin Harrison." I said, "Okay, buddy." Yeah. But you're on the clock here at the 4.3.
I'm on the clock. Another guy fell to me that like I said, dart throws this stage. I like the landing spot.
Jermaine.
Like what's going on with
I knew it, Cincinnati.
T and all that. But yeah, again, you're giving a guy to Joe Burrow, so I think it's I think that's a decent pick there.
You sure Katie didn't force you to take that pre-show?
No, not a chance. She didn't even know we were doing this until 5 minutes before.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, if you tell her, she might be happy, you know.
Yeah.
But again, it's a good dart throw, because again, what happens with T. Higgins? That's the bigger question. Is he going to get traded? Is he not? If he doesn't, Burton maybe will sit on your taxi, or maybe just be a bench slot for the year. Yeah. But T. Higgins, I think, is going to get moved. I'd be surprised if he stays on that team for the full entire season.
I agree. I think he will. I think he'll be out of there. They don't really want to talk money, and I don't think, even if they do, I don't think they'll come up to what he wants.
Yeah, exactly. I'm back on the clock here. If you didn't follow what I was talking about in the third round, how I didn't want to take 5 receivers, you know that this is going to be a wide receiver.
I have an idea who this is going to be.
I will say, though, if you get a very late pick in the 5th, go for Frank Gore Jr.
This is your guy this year. I forgot about this.
My dark horse guy. I mean, he probably won't get much. He might barely even make the practice squad, but because he was an undrafted free agent. But this guy is. Who do you think this guy is? I'll ask you. Who do you think?
I think you're gonna go with Luke McCaffrey.
Ding, ding, ding! We have ourselves a winner. Yeah, you gotta take CMC's brother, right? I mean, Luke McCaffrey.
If you say so.
Yeah, I've been taking Rice and McCaffrey in all my leagues because I'm willing to take the chance. Because they're so late, it's worth the dart throws on McCaffrey and Rice. I mean, Rice, I reached on the 4.1. He was going around the late 4th round. Luke McCaffrey, though, he's in Washington, another team that you could get him as a wide receiver 3 there. Jahan Dotson and Scary Terry there. But again, they're getting up there in age. I mean, they're still young, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But Luke McCaffrey, if he produces like CMC did with Carolina, I mean, you could see him rise and you can see him do good.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely question marks outside of a couple of receivers there. You could slot in as the wide receiver 4 already without even, seeing him doing a whole lot and then see what happens. So Yeah, I don't. I don't. I wouldn't. I would say that at this stage, 501, that's fine. I mean, he is a dark throw, but I still think he's going to be fantasy relevant maybe down the stretch or something like that. Give a few injuries there in Washington, which we've seen before. And I think McCaffrey is in there. And obviously, he has, like you said, his brother CMC, but then his dad was in the league too.
Yes.
So it's a family affair there. So yeah,
And
I mean.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, with your last pick, it's a good pick.
Exactly. Your last pick, are you going all around and getting a tight end here?
Yeah, I'm going tight end here. I like the landing spot of this guy.
Stover.
You're correct. You've hit the jackpot this time. I'm going Cade Stover. I like the landing spot. Don't think he's going to hit, obviously, in the first year. Maybe not second year, but I think they could pass the ball on to him when they decide they've had enough of Schultz. So him with CJ Stroud, I just think it's nice there. And again, flyer on the last pick.
No, I like Stover because he played with CJ Stroud, like you said. I mean, playing with him, a Buckeye, Gary would have loved that pick for you. It's a good shout because Dalton Schultz, again, he did come back. But again, I think Stover could easily be that tight end 2 behind Schultz. And if Schultz has to miss time, Stover is that next guy, and he could thrive well with CJ Stroud.
Yep. I mean, don't disagree, Ryan, you're saying there. So we'll just see how it goes. I mean, like we said, these last couple of picks, you just take a chance on the guys you like.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Milton going at the 5.10, Mr. Irrelevant in this rookie draft. Can I just say, the New England Patriots, the GM said that he could not pass up Joe Milton because he was too good of a talent to pass up.
Yeah, I don't really get that. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, especially when you've just taken Drake May at what was the third pick?
Yeah, the third pick. So if Joe Milton was that too good to pass up, then what are you doing at pick number 3? Why are you drafting Drake May?
You should have just traded back.
I mean, at that point, if Joe Milton was your guy,
because like you can get Milton whenever you want them. You know what I mean? There's no. I very much doubt there would have been a race for Milton. There clearly wasn't, but you could have just gained picks. Who knows? You might have got another pick in the first round. You know what I mean? You move back in the first round, you might have got another pick later in the first round. I don't know. It's an odd thing to say, especially when you've just spent the 103 on May.
It'd be so funny if Joe Milton beats out Drake May somehow, or like
it would be
does better.
Quick question for you here, though. Sorry to interrupt.
You're good.
What would you rather take? Would you rather take May at the 106 like Team 6 did, or would you rather get Joe Milton at your last pick at the 510?
Joe Milton with my last pick.
Yeah.
I think I just don't know. First of all, Jalen Polk being the wide receiver 1 there, like what in the world? Drake May, I don't know if he's going to thrive there. He's a humble guy. He seems really nice. Personality's great. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to do as good because of the wide receiver room there.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the other quarterbacks. They have decent receivers. Caleb Williams has the best in the talent with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. I mean, I'm forgetting other ones. Roma Donze. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels, Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson. Okay. A good wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and then whoever wants to be the wide receiver 3 there. Michael Penix with the Atlanta Falcons, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Who else? Who else am I missing? They just signed someone too. I can't remember. But anyways, still 2 top first round class from years ago that they drafted in the first round. Big guys, big names. Denver, Cortland Sutton. I could say Troy Franklin because Bo Nix had that connection with him. Now you look at Drake May. Kendrick Bourne, okay. He's a wide receiver 2 there. Jalen Polk. Who else did they
Douglas. Draft? You got your man Douglas.
Demario Douglas, who will be irrelevant because of this class, the wide receiver room. And then Javon Baker, I think that's his name.
Javon Baker.
They got him. I mean, Juju Smith.
Forgot he was there, dear Lord.
I don't like it. I don't like the class.
It's not looking good.
Hunter Henry's the top receiving
Oh yeah,
player.
definitely. And then maybe Ramondre or someone is going to get it in the backfield. Could get a bunch load of targets too.
Like what? I could have made this team a playoff team if the GM just called me.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, why you answered the Minnesota call and didn't trade with that?
Yeah. That makes no sense.
There's our weekly rant, my weekly rant.
Oh yeah, you got to throw it in somewhere.
Love New England Patriots, but they are not doing great on what they're doing with this team. Maybe Keith has different stories with Seattle. You like Seattle, what they're doing? Or are they just holding on to?
I really find it hard to figure out what they're going to do. I mean, I wasn't surprised with the way they went in the draft. Obviously, defensive. We have a defensive-minded coach again. Kind of, what we see from Pete Carroll, but still, this is going to be different. Their offense probably didn't need a whole lot of work other than getting some offensive linemen in. I mean, you've got your wide receivers there. Once we didn't get rid of DK, Lockett, JSN, we got AJ Barner, tight end. We always like to have a few tight ends. It's the way we play. But then again, it could change now with the new coach. So again, I think they're fine in what they're doing. I don't think they'll be a playoff team anytime soon. But I'm hoping maybe the new coach, new scheme rejuvenates the whole thing, and they could surprise me. That's what I'm hoping.
I hope because that team is getting old. I mean, they're not moving into the younger side for quarterback's sake.
I mean, if Gino is screwing up the first few weeks, I don't mind throwing Howell in. I really don't, because like I said before, I don't think Gino's a guy to get us deep in the playoffs. So you might as well see what you have with Howell. I mean, if you can, he balled out, but in certain games, but also threw way too many interceptions. I mean, if you can get him to calm down a few things, I think there's potential, but it just depends if he gets that chance.
Here's my question: is JSN ever going to become a wide receiver there, or what?
The way he's used, I think you'll see a lot more of him. I think they're going to phase out
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, as much as I like Lockett, I think you'll see JSN heavily involved, and Lockett will step back a bit, and then Lockett will be gone in a year or two.
I can see that happening. Hopefully JSN starts doing things. He'll pay a first-round pick for him in Dynasty rookie drafts.
Yeah.
Just an FYI. Let's go into our redraft, our Superflex redraft. Again, we randomized this pre-show as well. This time Keith has the 101 and I have the 109. Personally, I don't know if I'd want the 101 here.
I don't mind it. I mean, I'm going to do it like it's
Christian McCaffrey.
A super competitive league. Some leagues I know better than others that I'm in that no, they don't go crazy quarterbacks first, but I'm going to go quarterback here. I'm going to take Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen's the clear-cut guy. I mean, CJ Stroud, no, he's just not going to fall. Anthony Richardson, 1.8. Guys, this is the first time we're seeing this redraft, by the way, but I do not think Richardson is the 1.8 here.
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, I'd rather take some of the top wide receivers than Anthony Richardson there. I'd like, if I was at the 1.8 there, I'd take one of the top wide receivers, and if you wanted Richardson, hope he falls back to the two.
He would fall.
2-3. Yeah, he would. I agree.
He's falling. Wow, I'm trying to see what I have for the future, and man, the future is looking terrible. All right. Let's go with Justin Jefferson. I'm a big Justin Jefferson fan. I'll take Justin Jefferson over Tyreek. I knew Team 10 was going to pair them, and I'm going to take Kyler Murray because I think Kyler Murray is going to be the new QB.
Bad.
Right, it's not that bad.
Not bad at all.
Team 5 is just balling out with Team 10 with no quarterback here.
Yeah. That's not bad.
You're on the clock here, and if you don't take this guy, because I thought about taking him, you'd be insane.
I'm going to go with Jamar Gibbs here at running back. Was that who we were on about?
No. Keep going.
Wide receivers. Are you going to say Puka Nacua?
I'm not saying anything here. I'm waiting for you to pick 3.1. I'll tell you after you pick the 3.1.
I'm happy with that. I mean,
I take Marvin Harrison too. Marvin Harrison's there. 3rd round.
I'm really going to pair up. I really like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not going to take Marvin Harrison. I'm not going to take Devontae Adams. I'm not going to take Brandon Ayuk.
Could take your running backs, and then you're fine with running backs for the rest of the draft, really.
I don't really want to take Jonathan Taylor. The one that interests me here, believe it or not, is Kyron Williams.
What?
Yeah, he interests
Really?
me here. I don't want to be caught short going further down. I'm going to take Amon-Ra.
Okay, Amon-Ra was the guy, and I love the pair up with Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra. I don't think you can go wrong there.
No, I don't think so either.
And JT and BA, Brandon Ayuk and Jonathan Taylor are off the board.
Are we really going to see Puka Nacua go at the 3-2? Like, I get he was good, but are we really?
I'm telling you, he's jumping the boards. I wouldn't be surprised if he just sneaks into the late half of the second too.
Jeez, man. I mean, I don't. I think he's great, but I don't know. I think I'm like for a pick in the difference. I think I'm way more secure with Amon-Ra.
Really?
Like what I'm going to get weekly, I think his floor is just way better. I think I have floor and upside. I think Puka, you don't know his floor, and you definitely have upside. That's my opinion.
I mean, that's a fair enough opinion, in my opinion. I think it's a good shout. I mean, Devontae Adams going after Puka.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm on the clock here. I could go a lot of different directions here. I'm going to take a quarterback here because I don't want my quarterback to be taken from Team 10 because I think Team 10 won't be going for another wide receiver. I'm going to take Jared Goff.
Nice, good pick.
Wow.
Whoa, Team 10 is just stacking them on it like DJ Moore to 10 and then I mean
Michael Pittman is really good value right now.
Yeah, but DJ, I mean if I'm getting Hill and Chase there, I'm going
anywhere else.
I'm going, I'd rather go 2 quarterbacks than go another 2 wide receivers.
Well, you might get Kyron Williams because I'm not taking Kyron Williams. I'm going to go for the first 4 rounds without a running back. I'm taking Chris Olave.
Good move.
Well, Kyron Williams only lasted 1 pick after me, so didn't really do much for you. You're back on the clock. You have a lot of decent options here you could take.
I do have a lot of options I like to. Interesting how this has fallen. Where we go in the 5th round, I think it's going to fall into the 6th for me. Let's have a look at what's going on at quarterback. You know what? I'm going to take a chance and hope we can get a connection because as my super flex quarterback, I think Justin Herbert is good.
Okay. I like it. I think Herbert falling here is not a surprise because of the class. But
go ahead.
It's a good value. It's really good value.
That's why I like the value. I mean, like I get he does no one really to throw to, but like at the 410 there, I thought people go, I would take. I'm not big on Lawrence over Herbert. It's still like Lawrence has way more weapons, and he's always had way more weapons, really, and he's never been that great. Yeah. So I like where I am with this one. Now
compare him with Ladd McConkey.
Could, but I won't. This one is interesting. A guy I never pick, but he's value right now is Stephon Diggs to pair with Amon-Ra.
Wait, I'm sorry. Stephon Diggs is still on the board?
Stephon Diggs is after Nico Collins, so I'm taking Stephon Diggs to pair with Amon-Ra.
That will change. That will change really quick.
Definitely. He's going to shoot up. I mean, I'm not a big Diggs guy because he has explosive weeks, and then we see last year. But if he's going to fall, then I'm all in.
Yeah, I think if he falls to 5.1, he deserves to be picked there. Jalen Waddle and Deebo Samuel as well. Those are all shocking as well, in my opinion.
You know what's interesting? Kelsey's gone at the 5.2. That's kind of like the furthest I've seen. Like,
I think we would see him go 2nd round if this was a 1 QB league.
Oh, definitely, and I think he's gonna go up. But I'm expecting to fall. He's definitely been like end of the 1st round and a lot of, especially say a 12 team. But
can we just say that I'm currently on the clock with 5.9.
Yeah,
Puka Nacua went 3.2. Cooper Kupp is the 56th player off this board.
Yeah. I mean, it's they don't have it right yet, and they won't. It's way too early for a reason. You know what I mean? You got to go down the board, I suppose.
I will take the 2nd tight end off the board, Sam Laporta.
Nice, that's a good pick.
Oh, we have another wide receiver for Team 10.
Nico Collins, and then he takes I think take Stafford as his
Matthew
first.
Stafford.
I don't think you're winning much with Matthew Stafford as your first
I
quarterback.
think you have a better chance with Kirk Cousins, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
My first running back will be coming off the board here.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with Mr. King Henry. I'll take the chance on him.
I was looking at him. It's a good pick.
Cooper Kupp. All right, listen to Team 6. CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, Prescott, Tags, and then White. It's not a bad team.
It's not a bad team. And remember our question, was it last week? Where would you take
Mike Evans?
We said 4th onwards, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we said if he falls to like the 5th, between 5th and 7th, that's like amazing value.
Yeah. So I think we were kind of on the ball there. That was.
Where's Godwin? Where's Godwin? Godwin's fallen.
Godwin's still 83rd. He's still there.
Sleeper has Marquise Brown as Hollywood Brown on here.
Yeah.
So funny. You're on the clock here. You can take a running back. You can take Mr. Seattle, Kenneth Walker. You know, you love him, right?
Yeah, I do like him. But I'm not gonna go there yet. I'm just gonna see how it plays out here. Tight ends, there's options here, but I generally don't like to go tight end early in this. I think you screw yourself over if you do that. So
no, I have Sam Laporte. I'm fine.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're fine. But you
Trey McBride is right now projected to be the tight end 3 off boards.
Yeah.
This is wild. This is a way too early mock.
It's definitely way too early, but they're all going to sort itself out as the months go by.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with
Geno Smith?
Still on the receiver. No, I'm going to take Keenan Allen here.
Okay.
But it bounces back to me, which is fine.
Because now you'll take a running back.
No.
Or you're going to take Trey McBride. Why don't you take Rashee Rice? He has no problems off the field.
Oh, he has none at all. That guy is, guy's going to be a home run hit this year.
I think he might actually just be suspended for the full season. And if he doesn't, he might just get released.
Well, especially with the latest thing where he hit the photographer or whatever. Because they were on about
That's what I'm saying.
He was getting like a serious suspension, maybe half the season. Now it's like just forget about him, I think.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him.
No, definitely not.
Not to distract you from your picks.
Not at all. I actually don't mind where I'm going with this. I'm actually going to go running back because I'm not going to go another wide receiver, tight end. There's one There is actually I'm going to do it and see what happens. Why, you want running back?
No, don't pick my player.
Since he's just sitting here looking at me at the 7th, because I don't think he'll get this far. I'm going to go Mark Andrews.
It's a good pick. You didn't take the guy I wanted, but
the guy I wanted is still on the clock.
I'm taking Joe Mixon.
That was going to be between Joe Mixon and
yeah.
Mark Andrews.
I'm so glad you saw Mark Andrews because I really needed a running back here.
Yeah, so I mean, I still need a running back, but I'm happy to wait the way this is going.
Oh, I think I'm see, I have 2 receivers. I need a third. Baker Mayfield's still there. I love Baker.
And just take him.
I love Baker in Tampa. But
that's just a free pick for me somewhere else when you take Baker.
Yeah, but Tank Dell is also on the board. And I'm a big Tank Dell believer. I need a wide receiver 3. I also need an RB3.
Well, you either have to take him here or the odds of him coming back to you are probably slim. Yeah.
I'm taking Tank. Give me the Tank.
Yeah, I convinced you on that one, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about DeAndre Swift, too, taking him because he's in Chicago.
Yeah.
He didn't do bad. Montgomery is also a really good value, I think, in the 8th round.
Yeah. So I'm back up. Don't need QB sorted, tight end sorted. So we'll have a look here. Go back to wide receiver. I'm going down the list here. Nothing's coming out. So I'm going to take the upside of Hollywood Brown with Mahomes.
Okay.
Then I'm going to jump in here and go look at running backs. I think James Conner is still a workhorse. I know he got Benson there too, but I still think he's going to get his touchdowns.
No, it's not bad. Tight ends are going now. I think I got to take a running back here. And dang, I don't want to take this guy too early. I'm going to take Nick Chubb.
Oh, that's where I was going to take him a bit back. That's twice. That's twice on running backs.
And I'm going to take JJ McCarthy. I will reach for this guy.
You are reaching through this. You're getting tree locked up. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm
No, I was hoping Austin Eckler was going to come back around.
That was slim. He was high.
Eckler,
the way this is.
My goodness, in the 10th round, I will take the chance.
Yeah,
I would take the chance
I,
with him.
I would too, but
if McCarthy wasn't here and McCarthy would have fallen to the next set of picks for me, I was going to take Chubb and Eckler.
It's not bad. Not bad. I'm going to go
old guys. I'm taking Henry, Mixon, Chubb as my running backs. Oh, boy.
I'm going to go. I'm tying between two running backs here. I think I'm going to go for the latter. I'm going to go for Raheem Mostert just because he's on a better team than the other one.
It's not a bad shot. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Then we dig in here. Tyler Lockett, always consistent, never really end with him. Lad McConkey, you're all right, lad. Let's go down the board.
You could take him.
I could take him, but let's go down the board a bit and we can see what's going on. Do I take a flyer? Let me see who else. There has to be some guys down here that are getting very badly ranked so far, but I don't know.
There's a lot of options for everywhere, really.
Yeah.
It's just kind of who you're really.
I have 4 wide receivers, so I'm all right with that. I think I'm there's some further down I'm happy with taking, so I'm not jumping the gun here. I'm going to go back to running backs. I'm going to take I'm happy to take Tony Pollard. It's going to take Tony Pollard. Yeah. I was going between Pollard and Mostert, and I was hoping to just get one and a wide receiver, but I didn't like what was there. So
this is a big question now because Tajay Spears just went right after, and they want them to as a 1-2 punch. But the question is who really is going to get? Like, if you don't want to draft both of them.
No,
it's kind of who you prefer.
Yeah, it's definitely who you prefer. I mean, Tajay Spears looked good in what you've seen him without Henry or on third downs last year. I don't think Pollard was as bad as what people were saying. I think there's a middle ground between the two of them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could see that. I don't know what to do here because I wanted Tony Pollard. He was really the only guy I wanted here.
Would have been the third one you had got for me because I basically gave you Mixon because I took Andrews and Chubb. Well, I didn't take Chubb. I wanted Chubb to fall to me.
This is a tough spot. I'm going to take a flyer here. I'm going to take Zach Moss.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
Because Joe Mixon's not there. So, I just wanted to make sure Team 10 took quarterbacks. He did. He took Stafford and Cousins.
You're safe then.
Yeah, I'm on the clock here. Again, I think running backs are just so crucial that I'm going to double up. I'm going to go with Moss and Zamir White.
Nice. So Zamir White is the RB1 there right now. So.
Yeah, he is.
So, I mean, that's a nice – if he ends up being a serious home run hit, that's really nice in the 12th round.
So are you just not going to go tight end here? Because there's a checkered board here with tight ends and wide receivers, and you have not got any of them.
No, I'm going wide receiver. I'm going to take flyer. I'm going down my list, and I'm going to get – who am I going to get?
No, don't do it. This is the guy you're going to snipe me from.
I'm going to take the Bills wide receiver.
I knew it. I was going to take him if he came around because I thought he would come around, but I forgot. You're going to reach.
He's not that far down. He could go. I'm going to take who I think is the Bengals' number 1 running back in Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. Okay.
Yeah, he looked good.
I mean, Chase Brown could be the guy that ends up being. I mean, he could. He lost his job, I think, in college, so that's the only concern that he can just lose a job like that. And I think Zach Moss, he looked pretty good last year when he was in Buffalo.
He did, but Chase also looked when he was coming in on third downs for Mixon. He also had some long plays, so I think they might just trust him more. We'll see.
This is brutal. We're getting brutal territory.
Now it's getting pretty rough down here. I mean, you could take your Baker Mayfield. He's still there.
Yeah, but I don't need four quarterbacks. I'm good with 3.
Right now, like when you were considering Baker, that would have been such a reach considering he was like how many rounds later and he's still there.
I mean, now it goes to show that I could have just waited on JJ McCarthy. I could have just taken Austin Eckler, and I would have really been fine on running backs for the rest of the draft.
Yeah.
I'm debating on Jahan Dotson, whether I want to take the flyer there or see, here's the thing. Cortland Sutton was the wide receiver 1 in Denver. He already got drafted, but Jerry Jeudy's in Cleveland now. They went back to back. We saw that with Tennessee. I think we're about to see it with Josh Downs and AD Mitchell as well. Mm-hmm. The question is who's the running back 1 in the Chargers? Is it J.K. Dobbins or is it Gus the Bus? We already saw Gus the Bus go before.
Yeah.
Let's see. Going down the list here, no one really stands out. I mean, I'm ready to end this draft here with my 12 picks. Everyone else is ridiculous. I'm going to go with a wide receiver, and I'm going to just take a dart throw. I'm going to take a dart throw on, let's see. Wow. You know what? Brian Thomas.
That's who I was just putting in. I was just checking how far down he was. He was like 221 or something.
Yeah, he was far down.
Yeah, I'm not saying I was going to take him, but he would have been in consideration at like the last pick, but he was definitely far down.
Yeah, I'm just kind of reaching now here with players. I'm going to take try to take another tight end. I just take another tight end. I think I am going to take another tight end just to make sure you don't get anyone. I'm going to get Conquo.
Conquo.
Yeah, there's really no tight ends left.
No, there's not. I mean, you're running into trouble here with them.
You are, that's for sure.
I'm only going to go with the 1 tight end. I was looking at.
I know you are.
I was looking at Kendre Miller there. I went straight after you. I think he's
really. You like him?
I think he's really sneaky. I think he's like, if you in Dynasty, if you can get him for like a 4th round or something like that, I think he's going to he's going to get the reins handed over to him sooner rather than later. Okay. I'll take Jahan Dotson, who's a guy I've always believed in, and I'm glad he's fallen this far.
You've been a Dotson believer.
Yeah, I've been a big Jahan Dotson guy. And here is my flyer on the guy I liked going to the Panthers and Jonathan Brooks. So
I knew you were going to take him. I was like, do I want to take Jonathan Brooks? I could. I just decided not to. Running backs are going crazy here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Back on the clock here. Who do I want to take a dart throw? McLovin. Man, that's a guy I miss talking about. Yeah. Oh, Hunter Henry was still on the board. That's interesting. I think I'm going to take another dart throw on a rookie. I think I'm going to take Trey Benson. I'm a Trey Benson believer, you know.
Go for it. Yeah.
I'll take a Trey Benson.
I mean, Connor's injury history, you'd imagine Benson's going to get a shot at some stage.
Yeah.
This season.
At some stage.
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant, what tight end are you going with? Oh, I know exactly. Who.
I'm not going tight end. I've already got my tight end, so I'm not going tight end.
Wait, what? No, you. Oh yeah, you did.
I have Mark Andrews.
I keep forgetting you got Andrews. See, you threw me off taking Andrews because of the fact that you don't take tight ends early.
Yep, exactly. I decided to change it up, and I even said I don't take them because I usually don't like how my team ends up, but I actually like how this team has ended up. Mixing in some of the rookies. I'm just going to go quarterback here. I'll end it all. I'm going to take my boy.
Geno Smith
as my 3rd QB, and I think I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Good shout there.
What do you think? What do you think your team?
I like my team. I think I reached too much on JJ McCarthy. I think my running backs are a little weak. Really strong names. Just are they going to be consistent this year? Wide receivers, I think also pretty weak. I'm going to be honest. I felt like I just ran out of time with taking wide receivers because I was so focused on running backs for most of the draft. I mean, I took 6 running backs and only 4 receivers. So we're gonna hope that. Good thing it's not 3 wide receivers; it's 2 that we did in this one.
Yeah, and especially when you weren't going to go, you didn't go. Oh, I thought you didn't go running back for so long. I thought you were going to go heavy wide receivers. That's where I thought you were going. I suppose you got your two quarterbacks back to back, so I kind of scuffled that.
I just got the T1, tight end 1 with Sam Laporta.
Yeah, you did.
So that'll be a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, what about your team? What do you think about your team?
I like my team. I'm just have it up fully here. So like Josh Allen, say is the starter. Then Jamar Gibbs with Connor, Amon-Ra, and Diggs. I mean, that's pretty nice. Mix in Mark Andrews and then Keelan Allen, Hollywood Brown as flexes. Yeah. I don't mind that too bad. Justin Herbert, like I think where I got him and as a super flex is nice. I mean, you wouldn't have got that in previous years, but I know why you're getting him as a super flex because of he's technically got nobody to throw to. Then basically I backed up my bench with all these running backs just in case. And took flyers on Keon Coleman, Chase Brown, really, and then Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah, I mean, Connor, Mostert, and Pollard, those are 3 running backs that could easily be your RB2.
That's it, exactly. If Mostert has the year he did last year, I mean, he's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Chubb comes back healthy for me, I think it could be Henry, Mixon, and then Chubb in the flex. Yeah, and then kind of see what happens with Moss and White. And then you have Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, and Tank Dell as your other ones.
Yeah, I think you're safe there.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously because we didn't have like real people, just the bots, I think we would have seen a lot more quarterbacks go.
Yeah, we would have seen it different. I mean, they were generally going with the numbers, you know what I mean? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. It was just following that. But the way they've got them laid out, that will change. You know, the way we see Diggs was further down and Collins was ahead and stuff like that. That's all going to change. More people that do the mocks and all the rankings and stuff as the months go on, they're going to change, quite drastically. So we'll keep doing these to see how they change and see how our teams look as well.
We should compare this draft to the draft to like the last mock draft that we do.
Yeah, that would be really good. We could actually
really see. Yeah,
we put it on this and really see. I mean, it should save anyways in our mock draft. Yeah, so it should be there to compare. Yeah, but that'd be really, really good. I'm sure you'll see massive differences.
I mean, you're going to see Stephon Diggs climb the boards, I think.
Yeah, like half of our teams are probably values now compared to what we're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, Tank Dell will probably go a little higher, especially if he's considered the wide receiver 2 there. I think Murray's a little too high valued. I think Murray's going to fall a little bit, but if they have the hype with Marvin Harrison, then he might stay where he is.
That's it.
Pittman, I think, is too low, in my opinion.
I'd like flip flop. Like I know it's only a pick, but like I would say Pittman in the 3rd.
Yeah,
and then Moore is definitely somewhere in the 4th, if not 5th for me, just compared to because like I think Aduze is going to take a lot of targets off.
Yeah, and especially Cooper Kupp too. Cooper Kupp, Devonta Smith, DK Metcalf in the 6th round.
I mean, yeah, I think you should see Puka Nacua fallen and Kupp kind of meeting in the middle somewhere around the 4th round, 5th round, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Puka Nacua almost went 2nd round too.
Yeah, and I think you're going to find, I know we got it right, and it's not about getting it right, I suppose, where we would take him, but Mike Evans, going by the last couple of years, I think he's going to fall. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes, like, you could swap Kupp and Evans there, and I don't think anybody
easily
have a problem there.
Easily. I mean, I think Devonta Smith might be higher than Drake London.
Too. Oh, yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah.
I mean, I think grading each other's. We'll end it with grading each other's, like we always do. Your team, I'm gonna be honest, I give it an A-. I think it's a solid team. Solid team.
Yeah, like I think like if I was the 101 come my drafts and I got somewhere near this team, somewhere near, because I know you're not going to get it just the way it's going to change. I think I've done a solid job at the 101.
Yeah.
Your team, I like Murray, and I think you had to get Goff where you took him just because it was going to take so long to come back. I think you'd be left with nothing, like Aaron Rodgers or Daniels or someone. You don't want to be taking them or waiting. So I don't mind that, what you've done there. I think yours is, I think it's light at wide receiver. I mean, if you've got one of them guys going down, then you're kind of relying on Brian Thomas to win there. But I go B plus.
I'd give myself a B plus too. I'd give it a B plus.
Yeah.
I mean, Team 10 just tried to color code for the most part.
Well, literally. I mean, blues, reds, like that's all they were doing. I mean, that guy. Like, is McLaughlin even relevant? Algier, Ford. I mean, Ford.
Hey, he was McLovin him.
He was McLovin him.
I'm telling you, he was McLovin him. That's for sure. But I think that was a good first mock draft of the year.
Yeah, I always enjoy mocking. No matter what time of the year is, I always enjoy mocking.
Yeah, exactly. But that's gonna do it here once again. I was joined by my great co-host, Keith. You can follow him all over social media at swampdonkey_90. And be sure to follow him on Instagram at huddleup_NFL. Again, if you haven't done so already, use code SportsTimeHQ on Underdog Fantasy. They'll match first deposit up to $100. So because Gary isn't here, you might as well get Keith and give him the toilet bowl trophy. You know, we're back at it.
You can get it for that draft.
Yeah, maybe for that draft. Yeah, I'll give you the championship trophy for that. Or maybe I'll give yourself a ring too if you go on TrophySmack.com/SportsTimeHQ. Again, those trophies, those rings, the belts, the banners, all the bling that you want to kind of spice up your fantasy football leagues. Again, go follow Keith all over social media. I'm Fernando. I'm your host of Sports Time HQ. We'll see you all next week.